even have segments on my podcast, but that's probably why I have no direction on mine.
Yeah, well, you see, people criticized us when we said that our idea may have been influenced because of the segment thing, but not all podcasts have segments.
No. Not all podcasts have structure like this. This is very well structured, I will say.
We're so
Spell
that.
Dude, you guys are fucking...
Kevin, I went to an elementary school. Kevin went to a rudimentary school.
Welcome to Oops, All Segments.
That's good. That's a really good name for a show. We should low-key steal that.
That's right. The very best podcast hitting your eardrums at this very moment. I'm Kevin.
I'm Thomas. The voice you just heard was Take Hurwitz from Taking A-Schmear.
That's right. Jake and Amir.
Idea. They launched a new podcast called Segments, and yeah, they were gracious about it and agreed to give us a shout out, but we're still pissed.
Angry even.
Got
mad.
A tiny show with a bad premise and poor audio quality, and they've got everything, and they
have everything. And they will take everything else. But the one thing they can't take from us this week, Thomas is our guest.
Our special guest, Emmanuel Lomuro. Welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm doing well, and it sounds like I may have been misunderstood. I thought I was actually on the other segment show today.
Oh, you thought Jake and Amir.
No.
Shit.
Probably a common mistake.
Yeah, we kind of have the same energy as those two guys.
I didn't realize until you said something, actually. That's the crazy part about it.
My God.
I was like, I mean, maybe they just look different on camera, but, you know.
Yeah. You're like, these guys look way worse than I thought they
I'm technically Jewish, so that's kind of half of their dynamic.
There you go, a little bit.
Yeah, and, you know, I'm from Trinidad. So there's that. Emmanuel, we usually start the show off with a bit of a check-in. What's new in your life? How are you doing, pal?
Oh man, what's new? Everything's new, man. Everything's good. Keeping busy last couple months of the year. Kind of getting to the end of a couple big goals. So you know, which is nice. Gonna be recording my first album.
That's right.
First live, yeah. It's so funny. I've come to find out that not a lot of people know what I mean by album when I talk about, because I do comedy. And every time I say I'm recording an album, someone's like, "Oh, so you do music now?" I'm like,
"Yeah."
No.
They think that you're an electronic music DJ.
Exactly. It's like, why are you doing it live? That seems weird. I'm like, no. So I just call it a special now, just to keep it simple. Because that's the common. Oh yeah. So I'm recording a special. But in actuality, it's an album taping.
Exactly. That's exciting.
And then I'm doing a really big Christmas show at the end of the year as well. Under my alias E-Melody. So the comedy Christmas
so you can see how
show.
That would be confusing with the music. If your alias is E-Melody and you're releasing an album, I'd be like, that is a musician.
Yeah. Although two different events though.
So the E-Melody event, is that a music event?
That one is a variety show at the end of the year in December. So that there is music involved.
Eking closer to making an album, like a music album then.
E-Melody does actually have an EP on the way.
Wait. Hang on. Help me fucking square this circle, because I listen to I try to listen to comedy. I hear this fellow Bo Burnham, and a lot of it is music. So
Thomas,
explain that.
So Bo Burnham is an anomaly.
Okay. Just like he's an unusual guy.
Yeah,
like
not a lot of
the
comics
exception
also
that proves the rule.
Yeah. So it's like some comics do music, but all
yeah.
You know what I mean? It's one of those things.
I've listened to a ton of comedy. I've listened to Tim Minchin. That was mostly music.
Yeah, that's also a musical.
It sounds like you have a niche.
Like late career Steve Martin. That seemed more musical than I expected.
Yeah.
The banjo.
It sounds like you just like musical comedians.
Yeah, it just seems like
I'm open-minded, man. I love all kinds of artists.
Sure.
That's like if I'm all just like, I swear all comedy's black guys. I've listened to Bill Burr or Bernie Mac, Eddie Murphy, Dave Chappelle. I don't know what's going on. Other races, you guys should try comedy. It's fun.
Wow.
That's amazing.
That
Thomas,
is very exciting.
What's new in your life, my man?
Let's see. So the thing, I was wounded today at the climbing gym. Look at this.
Oh no!
Tiny scratch on my arm. That
okay. It's hard to distinguish that it's even a scratch. To be completely honest.
You said
not
climbing
a big
gym?
deal, but I wounded myself because I climbed
Vertical
too
adventures.
hard.
Yeah.
What?
Thomas lives in Chicago, so he's.
I'm
not
in
even
Chicago. It's called First Ascent. And the rocks are.
What happens when you go for
prickly.
your second, third, fourth time?
You just kind of have to play it cool, as it were.
They only let people come in for one.
Interesting business structure.
Yeah, it's
it
pretty
seems
messed up.
a little wonky, but so you got wounded.
It's Halloween today.
It is Halloween
I know
today.
this isn't going to come out on Halloween. We didn't
Spooky
really
season.
do a spooky episode. We're not in costume, but I love the spooky season, and I watched my favorite creepy movie this week, Lost in Translation, which turns out isn't creepy, but it was kind of a stunning portrait of two people disconnected from the most important figures in their lives, seeking some kind of communication together.
And that's spooky for you. That's
for me. Loneliness is scarier than any ghoul or ghost or goblin. Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
It's a terrible, terrible sight. I haven't seen Lost in Translation. Otherwise, I would definitely make some sort of specific reference to something that happens in the film.
Yeah, I haven't seen it either. So
yeah,
cool.
Yeah, so.
And you don't need to. Kevin, how are you?
My energy is fucked up today because it is Halloween, and something that we did at one of my restaurants, Dreamland Diner, we decided today
change it to Nightmare Land today.
Yeah, I thought about that, or Screamland was also an option. Instead, I didn't do any of those things. But no, this morning we thought we would try to launch our a new special setup for like booking kids' birthday parties, and in order to do that, we're launching like a program where if you book a kid's birthday party, you get like a big cotton candy centerpiece. But this morning, my brother had to show me how to use our cotton candy machine. Mm-hmm. So I didn't eat breakfast today at all, but I have had like way too much cotton candy that like for like a 33-year-old man to dine in.
A couple bites is way too much.
And so I was like, I ate way too much cotton candy at the beginning of the day. I've been running around for work. I still got to go buy Halloween candy. I got to put up Halloween decorations. My energy, as I said, fucked. I thought I would have time to eat before we did this record. Yeah. And then Emmanuel was like, fuck this, we're doing 1 o'clock. So now I'm starving and I'm hyper at the same time, which is the most insane feeling.
It's funny. When I grew up, I was all just like, I wonder if I'm going to be one of those people that participates in Halloween, and hearing what you're going through makes me very happy that I tapped out. I tapped out of all of it. I don't do the candy. I don't do the kids. No costumes.
Do you turn the lights off like nobody's home, or are the lights on, but you're like, don't try?
Oh, the lights are off. The lights are off, baby. They're not even close. It looks like no one's lived here for years.
The other here's one thing I wanted to bring up on the show because I think it's interesting. Emmanuel, you're a comic in Winnipeg. I do comedy in Winnipeg. But interesting, more like I don't know how much of this Venn diagram is in your mind or not. But like we used to work together.
Yes, we did.
We did used to work together at Skip the Ditch. We both had the same like day job, but I left a long time ago, but we like never interacted when we worked together. I didn't talk to you. I didn't that was a personal choice.
Oh, nice. I don't know about this guy. We'll see.
No, I just was like, I wonder if this guy knows that we work together because it was a big office and
it was a big office and a small office all at the same time.
You're not wrong.
Where everybody was on the same floor. Like the whole company at one time was on the same floor. And so we worked together the overlap was maybe months. Because
I feel like I remember you like starting right as I was leaving.
Yeah, I started right before the move from the old building to the new building. I literally
and then in the new building, I was like, fire me before we get to the new building, and they were like, okay.
Yeah. So, but there was but from what I understand, I heard the legend of your departure that there was like 4 of you all held hands and quit at the same time or something. Like it wasn't just like a regular, hey, I'm quitting. It was like they coordinated it and multiple people left at the same time.
I'm so glad that I get credit for that.
4 people walked across the crosswalk like the Beatles on their way out. It was perfect separation.
Yeah, I was 100% the Ringo in whatever that situation was.
That's the legend that I heard while I was there. Like, yo, did you just hear 4 people from the NPM team like walked out? I was like, what? We're like 4 people.
Yeah.
Later, did they find out that they'd be laying off hundreds at a time?
Yeah. It wasn't that. They're like 4 people left. Yeah, and then they let go of the rest of the team, so it's fine.
Don't even worry about that.
No, that's life. That's that's funny. Okay, well, I'm glad that you know that I know you kind of.
Yes.
And there's that. Usually we start the show off by doing a segment now after we've done our check-in. So Thomas, do we want to do a warm-up segment? Are we ready to spin the wheel?
I've got one that I'm just gonna tell a story, and I want your guys to give takes on it. And the segment's name is "Explain This Shit to Me." Because I heard a story, and I don't know how you guys are with this, but when I encounter a weird social faux pas, I will think about it for the rest of my life. Like, I need to understand why people do kind of rude or insensitive things. I need a narrative for what happened. And so I don't want to give too much detail to spoil this, but it's a friend of a friend. There was a wedding. Basically, he invited 5 of his childhood friends to the wedding. He had been in their wedding party. They were not going to be in his. In fact, he said, we're not going to have a wedding party. They show up on the day. He does have a wedding party. It just doesn't include them. And on that day, the wedding has 0 staff. No staff have been hired. And those 5 friends are given a huge list of all the tasks that need to be done on the day, which includes managing the parking lot, seating people, bringing out the catering and food, washing the dishes.
What?
Like, incredibly elaborate
dishes?
He didn't warn them, so they're all wearing like suits. So they're in the back cleaning dishes, getting sauce on their suits.
Oh my God.
These are like close childhood friends. And if they hadn't come through for it, the whole wedding would be ruined because there were 0 staff. He waited till the day of the wedding to spring this and just was I'm sure they'll do it.
What?
And they did because the social contract is so awkward. But so by doing that, and also no one in the wedding called him on this, was like, hey, we have no staff. It's in 2 days. What are we going to do?
Yeah, why do they, what? How?
That's just I'm not going to be friends with those people anymore, and I'm risking ruining this whole event. Yeah. So explain this shit to me, guys.
So
what is going on?
My first thought right away is the guy planned the wedding.
He planned it on his own?
Yeah, he did the planning. Or
I think there was a wedding planner, and his wife did some of the stuff. So it wasn't.
That's
but
impossible.
This must have been his realm. He was like, "I'll take care of this half."
Yeah, because it's whatever it is, I don't want to put this on the wife because that doesn't seem like something a wife would like. No ushers, that's
nothing. No staff, 0 staff at the venue.
That's actually crazy. Was his assigned wedding party also doing the work, or was it just... What?
And that's also, these 5 childhood friends, he didn't act grateful towards them, apparently. He just sort of saw them and was like, hey, he wasn't like, thank you, you really saved our ass today. This couldn't have happened without you. It was just like, hey, guys, nice work. Probably not even that.
That would have been horrible. Well, I mean, I'm trying to, I'm very empathetic. I'm trying to think of what the thought process is on that side. But even in the beginning of the story, you already had me against him once he was all he said there was no wedding party, and they show up and there's clearly a wedding party.
Yeah, the initial deception is enough to be that's fucking weird and bad.
Quite bad.
Yeah. Why invite them if you don't, what the fuck? Yeah, I mean, but I guess obviously because you need labor.
Yeah, there you go. Right. They were hired as staff. They got invited as staff. They didn't know.
When you almost lose respect for them for doing it.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
they did all the work. They didn't say, like, I'm leaving.
I would have been gone. I wouldn't have actually left. I would have been like, no, I've been invited as a guest.
Yeah,
I'm partaking in this.
Hang out.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch the groom deliver the meals. That's gonna be fun. That's gonna be great to see. I'm not missing this.
Yeah, he'd be like, "Hey, can you help me out?" I'd be like, "No, I'm good, man."
Yeah,
just sitting at the table waiting.
He walks down the aisles and then goes and picks up the flowers that they just threw on the ground. I want to see that. He's the flower girl.
He's giving the bride away. He's doing the whole. He's walking up and down the aisle 6 times.
He's also the DJ as well.
Shit.
He has to do the first dance and cue the first dance at the same time.
Yeah, he does his own best man speech.
It's pretty crazy, but even just to be like, I'm gonna lose these friends, because that's the gamble you're taking. Is like, they matter so little to me. I'm gonna do something so disrespectful.
I mean,
and risky though, right? Like, and also dice roll your wedding. Like I get, like, obviously that's terrible, but it's also not like. It's not like it's gonna necessarily work. Like, what if your friends are like, "Yeah, fuck this. I want to not help you," or
and
they
when
leave?
You say lifelong friends. Like, how long are we talking?
How long is this life?
I don't know the exact ages, but I know they kind of grew up in the same town. And again, he was the best man at several of their weddings, or not the best man, but like in the wedding party. So there's a history. I would say. Obviously, this guy's maybe a bit of a black sheep, and people are like, he's always been a little weird, but this felt like a new kind of echelon of just incredibly disrespectful.
Did they talk about how they treated him at their weddings? Maybe this was like a...
Maybe he's just getting punched down the whole time.
And he was just stewing. He's like,
this was his big revenge.
He doesn't even like this girl. Like, that marriage, that's a sham. This whole thing...
marriage is a sham.
This was all put together. Like, he dated and wooed this girl for months all the way to marriage just so he could get to the wedding day and execute
Maybe that's the ticket.
It's like one of those, like, fucked up Korean revenge dramas. Like, he's been planning this for a decade to destroy his friends. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. They won't even see it coming.
Oh my God. Imagine that. That is fucked up, T. I'm surprised.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that you will be thinking about that for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
I think I will.
I mean, what I would say is the way that you should have gone about is they should have politely declined to be staff on the wedding day, and be like, hey, we're more than happy to stay, but we're probably not gonna stay. Like, we're probably gonna leave. Like, if you really want us to stay, but only under the circumstances that we help out, I'm gonna head out. You know what I mean? I'm in a suit. I'm not prepared to work. You don't seem to have the wages to pay employees right now. You know what I mean? Like, that's pretty bananas.
This is the wisdom of a man who used to work at Skip the Dishes.
Yeah,
like, I'm not gonna do
you don't have the wages.
For you.
There's been many a times when I'm all like, sorry, you don't have the wages to provide to me to do any further work for you.
I'm afraid we've tapped out the supply.
Exactly.
Is this going to be a problem for your restaurant that we're publicly shitting on Skip the Dishes? Do you have like a partnership with them?
I have a partnership agreement with all of the companies that we use, but
look, everybody shits on Skip the Dishes.
Okay, good.
I also worked there. They fired me. I can fuck that. Like,
the bad blood is in the public domain.
Every single restaurant that's on the network hates Skip.
Yeah,
but it's a monopoly.
It's true. My job there was to take the hate. Like, that was my job.
Dude, I had people talking to me about my mother, talking to me about my family over Subway sandwiches. Have you ever been cussed out over a Subway sandwich? Because I have, and I can tell you the last time I ate Subway, it was when I started working at Skip. As soon as someone calls you an MFer over tomatoes, that's a wrap.
When someone puts a fuck in the middle of the $5 footlong alliteration, it does hurt. Someone's like, give me my fucking $5 footlong.
Well, call it a sweet onion frickin' teriyaki. Fuck, I screwed it up. God damn
Thomas,
it wasn't
Thomas,
that good, and
if
I
you're gonna make a
pronounced
joke,
it like a
that's the
dumbass.
thing, right? Because if you're gonna make a joke on the show, you got to make sure it's tight, it's clean, it's coming out good.
Boy.
Jeez. Okay, hold on.
It's funny because I saw the direction. You know.
Hey, dude. It's okay. It's gonna be. We still got a whole. What have we been recording for like 20 minutes? We still got the rest of the show to get. That was the first segment. It was yours. So you look so angry. Right
Look,
now.
as a comic, I got a little bit of advice. You just gotta power through it. Okay,
you gotta power through, right?
You gotta power through it. Trust me, it's a long set from
This
what I understand.
is me powering through, by the way. I'm still here.
Yeah. And what do we have?
Segment 85.
Just don't get
be
mad at-
a Tommy texter.
Okay.
Thomas must help someone else compose a semi-important or delicate text message.
Oh. Okay. So you're in a good state to do this right now.
I'm feeling fine. I'm back.
You got
I'm thinking
really
I'm
angry.
back.
Okay.
You're
thinking you're backy.
It reminded me of a special skill that I have.
Yeah.
Which is
Emmanuel, is there an important text that you need to send?
I
An
really
important
hope so.
text that I need to send.
I am kind of weirdly good at composing a sensitive text where you need to like convey something a little bit delicate that might hurt someone's feelings, but you also want to set a boundary. I'm also in school to be a therapist, so using all these skills, I'm decent at the sensitive text. So it's a lot to ask you right now if you don't have one. We can also do a hypothetical if we need
I
to.
don't have one.
I have one if Emmanuel does.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Let's do it, Kev.
I just participated in the Winnipeg Improv Festival and have been late on my thank you text messages to Steve and Katie. The Steve and Sim and Katie Curtis, the organizers of the Winnipeg Improv Festival.
Yeah.
And I've sort of talked to them and seen them multiple times and been like, don't worry, you're getting a very nice thank you message coming. And I was hoping to find time to do that today.
You've said you're getting a nice text. Just hang tight. That is your first huge mistake. Don't be like.
I didn't ask you to tell me what I did wrong in the pitch.
So how long ago was the festival?
The festival was 2 weeks ago.
You gave a preview to a thank you text?
Yeah, it was like 10 days ago. It was almost 2 weeks ago. And yes, it's sort of a teaser trailer, if you will.
You texted Steve and Katie in the group chat, just big things coming, ... Watch this space.
New text dropping soon.
Big things on the way.
In the studio cooking up a great text.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my gosh. Coming soon to a phone.
Yeah, so that's if you could, Thomas.
I'd love to compose this with you guys.
Compose a thank you. It's less mean, less cruel, less dangerous than perhaps anything else. But I'll send it to the both of them together, perhaps.
And I'll know if you're using Chat GPT.
Because I'm on there too.
The one thing that AI always, and I use Chat GPT constantly for every message.
You've been using it since we started the podcast, right?
You gots to.
Yeah.
I'm reading a script right now. You guys don't even know.
Yeah.
So the one thing that AI has not figured out yet is how to just start a sentence without "I hope this finds you well." If you ask ChatGPT to send a message, every single one starts out with "I hope this finds you well."
It's got ChatGPT is the most optimistic fucking person in the world.
It's like first off,
ChatGPT does have a lot of weird formalities in their messaging to people, like just awkward, inhuman, like politeness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's way too polite to be a human yet. That's the truth.
Yeah. Sup, motherfucker needs to be how it's done.
Well, yeah, just like you open it with some like horrendous inside joke that only the two of you could ever understand.
Yeah.
Like, sup, pussy drip. Then you know it's a text from Kevin.
Definitely don't want to start our message with that.
Don't be a Tommy texter. Trust the expert. Kevin, are there some things that you definitely want to include in here, or do you want me to just create the whole sentiment and you contribute nothing?
I think, Emmanuel, what do you know about improv comedy?
I I have nothing but horrible things to say about it. So.
This is gonna pay off big time.
Fuck yes, man.
I've heard a lot of zip zap zop is involved. I've heard a lot of rumors of things that go on those stages, and I gotta say I haven't heard a lot of things I'm a fan of, to say the least.
That's fair. That's fair.
It sounds like a lot of crowd work, and I can't stand the crowd. The crowd is my enemy at any given time.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's fair. You have to hate the audience.
You can't trust them. You cannot trust those people. Those are strangers out there.
So even though Steve and Katie, expert improvisers, have been doing it for a really long time, and they've recently kind of over the last few years taken me under their wing as like a producer and improviser, and it's been I've been very grateful for their support. And even though it's completely vapid and small and sort of almost cringy to include a reference to Zip Zap Zop, I would like us to do that, Thomas.
Sure.
In it, as well as I think Katie's been coaching and directing Club Soda for the last nearly year now. And that's been very great. So I'd like to put some of that. I couldn't do this without them, and that they've given me opportunities that I didn't have before. Those kind of things. Also, Steve and I wore the same shirt almost during one of the shows. So if that helps.
That's a funny little
didn't
detail.
Wear the same shirt? Is that what I'm understanding?
It's not as interesting as that, Emmanuel. Don't. It was just kind of close. Okay, they were both black and white Hawaiian shirts, and his had slightly smaller pattern things on it. Okay.
Please make sure you reference that we had shirts that weren't exactly the same. Please make sure that's in there.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny enough, I actually have a friend who does stand-up comedy that also just recently transitioned over to, I don't know why I said it like a surgery, but
there's two types of people in this world.
There's only two types.
There's only two comedians. Yeah, exactly. Who's your friend?
Kristen Erickson.
Kristen Anderson is in Club Soda. She just did the improv festival with me.
She recently just told me. She's like, hey, like, I'm joining improv. I was like, that's awesome. Do it up. Why not?
Yeah. And you're like, now I fucking hate you, right?
Yeah, a little bit, more or less, yeah.
Yeah. Kristen's former guest on the show. She's great. Yeah.
Oh, awesome. She's been on the show too. Wicked.
Yeah, she has. T-Bone.
Yeah.
How are we doing?
I'm wondering if I should just dictate it, and then you can kind of edit out the pauses but I'll give it's tough because I think when you're talking and texting, you do phrase things a little bit differently.
I'll clean it up a little.
Yeah, clean it up, and we'll go over make this the art for the episode is the text that Kevin sends. Okay, so again, I feel a little like I'm the guy from Her who like writes people's greeting cards for them, like that kind of like all human connection has now been automated by a company, but that's the direction we're going. So. I think you got to start casual, something like, hey guys, then maybe, I don't know if it's been an awkward amount of time, but something like, sorry for the delay on this, or I've been thinking about how I could thank you for all that you did for us during the improv festival. It was, it was a truly rewarding experience, and I felt myself and all the members of Club Soda grow as a result of it. Katie, your coaching and direction has given us a new focus and purpose as a group.
Okay, hold on. You're going too fast. You're going too fast, right? Too fast.
Well, you're going to listen to the episode later. You don't have to type it right now. You want me to pause for 5 seconds during our...
No, I guess not. I guess this is bad content.
What happens if he gets to a word you can't spell and you're just like,
wait. Yeah, I guess I'll fucking wait. I guess I'll wait.
Immiseration was the next word. So
immiseration?
Type that out.
Immiseration? So like what?
No, I'm just
like 6 Z's.
So it's given us, your coaching and encouragement has given us a new focus and purpose as a group, and I've noticed how meaningful it has been for the newer members of Club Soda as well to have your guidance. as much experience as I have as a producer and as much comedy as I've done, I feel that I couldn't have done this without your support. And I appreciate that you have brought me in so generously and helped to create these really precious opportunities for me. It's funny thinking back to when I was young and just playing Zip Zap Zop for the first time and how far I've come. Steve, they say you have big shoes to fill, but in this case, you had a big shirt to fill, and I wore a similar shirt to yours. Oh. So, thank you again. I don't know if you like that line. Thank you again for all that you did. This is an experience I will never forget. The only question is, will it ever be equaled? And just like the X-Files, I want to believe.
Oh, that's beautiful. Is there, my God, is there like a way you could say something now? Because I know Katie is very supportive and Steve are both very supportive. I think sometimes they might listen to the show, so I don't want them to hear this and think that came from you. Is there a way that you could maybe write me something that sort of masks it now at the end, sort of a button, like in case they heard this, then I can write them something that sort of makes it seem like it wasn't me.
Like at the end,
they won't hear this
say
part.
Something that confirms it's you and it couldn't have been written by someone else.
Right. Well, I just want to, or maybe just something to like remove all doubt. Like, I know that you heard Thomas dictating this exact message on the pod, but I promise, like, something to the effect.
Yeah. You might think that I had help from my much smarter, more charismatic friend who has a way with words, who really was the Katie before Katie, the one who taught me enough so that I'd be ready for Katie to teach me. Because I was basically a troglodyte before I met him. But I want you to know...
How do you spell troglodyte?
I want you to know that is all hearsay and horse feathers. This was 100% a Kevin joint, and then in brackets text message.
Okay, I'll send that. I will. That'll be good. Thank you.
Quick little excerpt here, and I'm not as quite as seasoned as a texter. I feel like I'm a feelings guy. Yeah. I truly feel like this line should get slipped in there. You know, about the guidance part. It just hit me while you were saying it. Like a Sherpa to sheep, you guided us through the mountains known as improv. Just slip that in there if you can.
Like a Sherpa?
I'm a big metaphor guy. I love me a good metaphor,
Okay, that's a great, yeah.
You'd be your improvers would be the sheep. They would be the Sherpas.
Okay, sure. It's just, let's not focus, because it sounds like it's diminishing.
No. Well, I'm sure you guys have pretended to be sheep before. That's not unheard of, right?
That's our whole fucking gimmick. Yeah. Okay, if you came to any Club Soda show, you would know that we spend 30 minutes of long-form improv as sheep. That is what we do, okay?
Can we get a location? Starbucks. Did someone say a field?
Yeah, I heard a fence when you're trying to go to sleep.
Yeah.
Get to counting, fuckers.
Right,
okay, that worked. That was a great warm-up segment. Let's kick it over to an ad break. Thomas, what do you think?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, hear from another podcast right now.
Hi, I'm Mike.
And I'm Josiah.
And we're the co-hosts of a weekly podcast called How Star Wars Is It?
On our show, we rate and review things on a scale of 1 to 10, but not of how good or bad they are, but of how Star Wars they are.
We've covered lots of movies, from The Matrix to Guardians of the Galaxy to all the Star Wars films, but we've also reviewed things like pumpkin spice lattes, Halloween, moving, burgers.
We've got over 150 episodes, and you don't have to listen to them all. You can just find the ones that look interesting and listen to those. There's no plot, there's no continuity. You don't have to worry about that. Okay? So if that sounds fun to you, tune in to How Star Wars Is It every Monday, wherever you get your podcasts.
How Star Wars is it?
How Star Wars is it? We love you, and may the Fourth be with you.
And we are back. Emmanuel, did you have the chance to make a segment for us?
I had no idea what that actually meant. I'm not going to lie to you. I was like, make a segment? I was like, I don't even have segments on my podcast, but that's probably why I have no direction on mine.
Yeah, well, you see, people criticized us when we said that our idea may have been influenced because of the segment thing, but not all podcasts have segments.
No. Not all podcasts have structure like this. This is very well structured, I will say.
We're so
Spell that.
Dude, you guys are fucking...
I went to an elementary school. Kevin went to a rudimentary school.
Oh, okay. Man. Sorry, Emmanuel. You've watched us both lose our minds while misspeaking.
But so, even if you don't have one, maybe you do. But
I have
I'm
an
happy
idea.
to have you figure it out. Yeah, let's figure it out in the moment.
I was thinking maybe, just because he said improv, I'd be down to play a little improv game.
All right.
We just kind of create a story, one word at a time.
Yeah.
And we each just add something to the story. They're pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Sure.
Right?
We've played this once before, and it was maybe the greatest thing we've ever done on the podcast. So
yeah, it
I'm
was
really
probably the
excited
best
to
one-word
return
story
to
that's
it.
ever happened. So,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah.
Cool. And keep it loose, right? If you need 2 words in there, no one's counting. So,
all right.
Well,
this man does not do improv if he thinks we can do 2 words, but we'll try it.
Yeah, I mean, just don't go off on a monologue and just take the story over.
No, fuck it, man.
Quick.
No rules.
Yeah, okay.
3 words. Who gives a shit?
What are we going to call it?
So why don't you give us the title, and then we'll start with you.
I like
we'll go
that.
to Kevin, then me. Kevin's kind of got his rocky
and we
look right now.
And we gotta make the story.
You got to get ready
based
for
on the
improv,
title. Okay. Let's go.
I'm concerned about how Katie and Steve have influenced you. Actually,
we're gonna go with let's call it the drug dealing Sherpas.
The drug dealing Sherpas. You're obsessed.
The drug. Yeah, I don't know what it was.
You have a lot less wool on you than I would have thought for somebody who loves Sherpas.
No, trust me, I got a whole bottom of wool. Anything under the camera is actually wool.
He's half sheep.
So the drug dealing Sherpas will do Kevin, me, Emmanuel. Will go in that order until we get to the end of the story. Here we go. The drug dealing Sherpas.
There
were
more
sheep
in
the
field
of
dandelions
than
ever
before.
And
Jared
was
very
unhappy
because
he
knew
that
those
sheep
couldn't
possibly
live
in squalor.
So
Jared
decided
he
must
sell
drugs
for
the success
of
his
domain.
One
incident
occurred
when
Jared
saw
a
police
sheep
buying
fake
wool.
Jared
said,
Hey,
don't
buy
fake.
wool.
I
Have
The
good
stuff.
Jared
fell
Victim.
to
a
Sting
operation
and
was
Arrested.
Immediately.
I like the end of that. That's
Yeah.
not gonna lie. I was trying to think of another word. That was not bad.
That wraps
so
up the moral
let's
of the
summarize
story.
the story. Let's reflect on what happened.
Yeah.
So
There was a
he had
Sherpa?
a bunch of. Was he a Sherpa?
I'm
I
not
don't know
even
that we established
We
that.
said Sherpa, but he sounds more like a farmer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In a field of only dandelions, seemingly,
Yeah.
so no crops to speak of.
Right. He's not doing well. Jared is destitute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, things are going
We
well
didn't
for
mention
Jared.
this, but this is Jared from Subway as well. Like, I think we all agree it was that Jared.
Yeah. It was Jared
which is
from
why
Subway.
it's good that he went to jail at the
I
end.
was
That's
very
why we were
happy
so
by the end.
satisfied.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah. And so he had no.
So the
he
The
had too many
cop
sheep.
was selling fake wool.
The cop
Yeah.
was buying fake wool.
Right,
Yeah.
buying fake wool, and Jared just saw. I guess he was undercover, so he didn't realize he was a cop.
I don't know
Yeah.
if you
He
guys
was
know
like,
this.
I have drugs. Like, as though wool and drugs are the same.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing, right? Cops often, if they need to do a sting operation, one way that they'll find a drug dealer is that they'll go into a community where they think people are dealing drugs, and they'll start selling fake drugs,
Yes.
and bad drugs, and
I know.
then and hopefully someone will be like, don't buy from them, buy from
me.
like they'll go to
Yeah.
they'll go to someone they know is a drug
Kevin,
dealer and say, I'm
I've
getting great.
seen The Wire. I know.
We both watched the same show.
You
We
think
got
that
the
Amsterdam had actual pigs in it, though?
I was gonna say a pig in sheep's clothing.
I assumed wool was a slang.
It's a street name
Yeah, street
for-
name for whatever
Yeah.
he was slanging.
Yeah.
What kind of drug were you imagining, Emmanuel?
Yeah.
Something not cocaine.
Sure.
Not.
Sure.
It was a different type of. It's a new age drug.
Okay.
But
Maybe
very
like,
big in the farmer community amongst the Amish, I assume. You know,
Sure.
like DMT.
I thought you
or
said
something.
the pharma community, like PHARMA,
yeah.
but you said farmer community.
yeah, farmers. Yeah,
Yeah.
farmers. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
big users
Yeah.
of this drug.
Yeah, what did the radical left wing Italian crop grower blame all his problems on?
I don't know what.
A big pharma.
You see, stand-up's not so fucking hard, is it?
I mean, that looked
And that barely
difficult.
took me any pre-writing to come up with.
Oh no, that looked
Thomas
hard.
throws away a 3-page
could-
binder.
I couldn't have done
right.
that.
Yeah.
Let's maybe spin the wheel, do one more segment to close us out for
Yeah,
today.
let's see what we got going on in the wheel one more time here.
Okay.
What's up?
Online recipe. Participants decide on a prepared dish and then improvise an online recipe site style description for the item. So this is not I think this is not the ingredients. It's that
This is
like
like that
weird
preamble.
before you get to the recipe. That like very long personal saga that they like to share.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, when you're like looking up like a chili con carne recipe and they just tell you like the time that they were in like Lithuania backpacking and
Oh, like
someone
Willis.
showed them this recipe.
Oh
yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
So is there a food or a dish that you particularly like to cook, Emmanuel?
Yeah.
I'm a big breakfast person. Let's say
Okay.
this last weekend, for breakfast on Sunday we had croque monsieurs.
Oh, croque monsieur.
Yes.
Okay.
So let's maybe let's
quick.
search up something there.
Croque monsieur. You want to look
Yes.
that up, T?
I call that Mr. Cracker is what that is to me because I live in America, but to you,
I don't think it was,
Monsieur.
I don't think croque is cracker in French.
I'm
No.
pretty sure
Right?
it is.
No, obviously not. You think it's
so
called?
why
you think
am
the
I
dish that
looking
he
it
ate
up?
for breakfast is Mr. Cracker? Well, I think we should figure out what croque monsieur is properly. Unless Emmanuel, why don't you just tell us what is a croque
It
monsieur?
Well, I got it.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Well, but it's his dish. Why don't we have
It's
the guest
essentially
explain the
Fine,
food item rather
but
than you
I'll
read a
correct
fucking
you if you
recipe?
make even one. If you miss even one detail, I'll needle you.
It's essentially like a ham sandwich with like a white cheese sauce
Okay.
on top of it.
Sort of like a hot sandwich, so you're pouring it on top.
Yeah.
Let me just say, the word essentially was doing a lot of work there.
Oh my god.
No,
That was doing a lot of work in that.
What else
okay?
is it? What did he miss then? What did he miss from the
He
croque
actually
monsieur?
missed that it's a delicious French ham and cheese sandwich made with Gruyere, Parmesan, ham,
What?
and a
Wait,
simple
what did you just say?
bechamel sauce.
Gruyere.
What did you just say?
Gruyere.
Are you okay?
Judy Gruyere is one of my favorite actresses.
Judy Gruyere.
Gruyere.
Okay, so Gruyere cheese is the
And it's toasted
ham,
in the oven.
toasted in the oven. Cheese
It's
sauce.
delicious. It's very decadent. The
Sure.
picture
Sounds like
from
a good
this
breakfast.
recipe looks like shit. I'll say that. Let me
Really?
pull it up for you guys.
Sure.
The like nice picture looks good, but then their example just nasty looking.
Oh!
What is going on here?
That's
Like, this is
and
what it
what is
should
this
look
piece
like.
of shit
Then we
salad
got
going on
this.
beside
Yeah.
it? Yeah,
Did you
like
guys see the-
3-item salad.
Did
Yeah.
you see that documentary Firefest?
yes.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what the lunch looked like.
Yeah, the only difference is the plate isn't paper. That's the
Yeah,
only
that
difference.
is-
Yeah.
The sandwich pictured above was from a patio lunch I enjoyed on the streets of Paris.
That's from
Goodness
Paris?
gracious. Off of the streets or on the
Yeah,
streets?
that was
I've
not.
got my monsieurs in Paris, and they are not delicious.
I was walking through the streets of Paris and I found this perfectly good sandwich on the ground. And I
It
So
was a
maybe we
crocked
do
monsieur.
we let's continue this. We'll improvise the rest of the story that led to that particular sandwich.
So walking down the street.
Yeah. But
yeah.
we can give some backstory, like why are they in Paris? It feels like they
Okay.
maybe just got like
Have you ever
broken
been to
up
Paris
with.
before, Emmanuel?
I have not.
Okay. If you
I'm
were going to go
thinking
to
either
Paris,
they just
is there
got
a
broken
reason?
up with, or they're like
Getting
doing
married.
that
Getting
sort of like
engaged.
I'm going to live in Europe and reject American hegemony thing.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. I like that. Let's go with the spurned lover. I've been broken up with. Like, so maybe there's an allusion to that at the beginning of the recipe.
Listen,
so it's like not as clear because like maybe their last recipe was really obviously
But
about
it's
the
like-
breakup.
Right. Maybe they say like, as you can imagine, it was pretty weird for me to be in the city of love. And so it's sort of like,
Yeah.
what do you mean by that? But I guess, okay, you're lonely. I don't
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
Okay.
Like, we don't know you, but okay.
Yeah, sure. You
Yeah.
italicized me, which was a weird choice, but
Yeah. What are some
Yeah.
other details we would want to include in this preamble? I feel like there's always like a personal family story of some kind.
yeah.
I came back to the same place that my parents had met.
Oh yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
that, you
Nice.
know?
Yeah. Like maybe that's the restaurant that they
Yeah.
want to go to is like maybe where their parents first met.
Yeah. The
So
night that my son was taken, I watched Ratatouille.
It was his
Paris
favorite
has a
movie.
certain emotional valence for me.
I better get there fast. So yeah, they're at the restaurant where their parents first met, and perhaps they the first thing that they talk about in regards to the food item is like the scent. They're like when something wafted into my nose. I want to use the word waft. I feel like it's important.
When the scent of Gruyere.
Yeah,
Gruyere.
the scent of
Pronouncing
Judy.
it weird. How do you guys
Gruyere.
pronounce it? Did I fuck it up?
Well, you sort of gulped it out. You were like Gruyere,
Well,
which I think was
I was mad and also
Gruyere.
nervous. So
yeah.
I
but
mean,
think it's
I
just
thought you were just
Gruyere.
Americanizing it because you said
Yeah.
you don't speak French.
Yeah,
Cracker
you're like,
with
I don't know
syrup.
what Gruyere cheese is.
Yeah, but it goes on this cracker Mr. sandwich.
This goes on Mr. Cracker's sandwich over here. Mr. Cracker is every sandwich that Thomas eats.
they call me Mr. Cracker. in these
They
streets.
call me Mr. Cracker.
Oh, goodness.
Quite right.
Quite right wing.
Quite
Yeah,
right.
so-
Wait,
That's
let's
what I
do it.
said.
This could be a whole new thing. They call me Mr. Cracker. Quite right wing. Fuck, I fucked it up again. I can't speak today.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Look, we have to get through this recipe.
Yeah. Well,
so
we've got most of the key details. What's like? We've had a lot of heartbreak. What's like the glimmer of hope that this recipe maybe gives this person?
Yeah, I feel like if it's maybe something like if the ham and the cheese can get to find connection with each other, like if the
way the flavors amalgamate gives me hope for the future that I too can someday
one day find my Judy Gruyere.
Yeah,
my Judy Gruyere. That's good. That's good.
Yeah,
that is the title of the episode, by the way.
Judy Gruyere.
Famous actor.
I think
actress.
And the sauce on the sandwich.
Oh yeah.
To maybe close out our little preamble.
Mm.
The sauce on the sandwich reminded me of how much money my wife declared she would be getting in the alimony. Bitch a mill.
Super amazing. Well done. Well done. That's how a recipe
Former guest
works.
Haley Carlson said, "Puns are not a personality. I beg to differ, Haley."
Is this live
all I
stream?
have.
No.
Oh.
Were you worried?
No.
You were getting emails immediately being like, you need to stop doing what you're doing, man.
Skip the dishes in the comments. Like, no.
Get off the air. This isn't the Jake and Amir show. Yeah.
You still want that tuna salad or nah? They're just like texting you. Like, you better take back some of that stuff you said.
Oh my gosh.
Emmanuel, tell the folks where they can find your shows and where they can see you next.
Yeah, well, album recording, special recording is going to be at the Basement Speakeasy here in Winnipeg, Manitoba on November 24th. So I'm going to be doing 2 shows one night. I'm going to do an early show at 7:30 and then a late show starting at 9:30. And then my Christmas concert extravaganza is going to be at the Park Theater. So a nice big venue there, nice 300-seater, trying to pack the house. Tell your friends. You can find me on all social media at Lomuro. That's ELOMURO. Just keep up to date with that. I like to. It's a good follow. I'd say it's probably one of the better follows. I like to do fun stuff on my stories. I do sketches and random skits and stuff.
It is a good follow. I agree. I agree.
Let's maybe proposition you for a second, Emmanuel. I'm going to follow you right now. And in exchange, maybe pull out your phone. If you have the podcast app, you could go to Oops All Segments and rate us 5 stars.
Oh, there you go. Which podcast app? Apple?
The Apple Podcast app.
Apple Podcast
that's
app.
That's where it counts. That's where it matters. No shade to Spotify. They host our podcast. But it's different.
Oops, all segments.
Oops, all segments. That's us.
That's you right there?
Yeah, don't follow the trend. That's us. That's the one you want. Yeah, you want to give that a review.
Follow show.
And folks, if you're listening at home, you should do the same goddamn thing, okay? Don't be a fucking idiot. Don't be fucking stupid. Get your shit together.
Yeah.
And follow.
Now more than ever, we need your support because Jake
somebody
and Amir,
tried to steal from us. Okay.
Obviously, they're gonna do it better. They're gonna have a bigger audience.
They're gonna have more people on. We told them that they were welcome to guest on the show if they felt bad enough, but they probably don't. And
they don't feel that bad. That's the thing. They just feel a little bad.
Because they're probably going to be like, it was parallel thinking, which it might have been. But I'll tell you what, that wasn't good enough for my girlfriend, and it isn't good enough for me. Okay?
Yeah.
Not anymore.
In what sense was it not good enough for her?
Well, I sort of told her about what happened, and she was like, she kind of Lady Macbethed me a little bit and was like, you should kill them. She told me. To get revenge on them, but I don't really want to. I don't want to murder them because they're like good guys.
We're pretty big fans.
Revenge is not the best way to go about things.
No?
Unless, of course, you wait until you get married You invite them.
Then you get your friends to come in.
Exactly. There you go.
We're going to invite Jake and Amir to our wedding and make them cater the whole damn thing.
That's how they can make it up to us.
Next time on Oops All Segments.
Bye.
So.